Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is a vibration, a frequency that aligns us with the highest good. When we embrace gratitude, we open the door to limitless possibilities. We shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, and in doing so, we become powerful magnets for all that we desire. I want you to understand this truth today. The more you appreciate, the more life gives you to appreciate. The energy of gratitude amplifies everything good in your life, and it creates space for more blessings to flow in. So today I want to share with you how I use gratitude to manifest anything I want and how you can do the same. Before my feet even touch the ground in the morning, I take a deep breath and say thank you. I give thanks for the gift of another day, for the opportunity to wake up and experience life once again. I have learned that how I start my morning shapes the energy of my entire day, and so I choose to begin with gratitude. There was a time when I used to wake up and immediately let my mind drift into worries, responsibilities, and unfinished tasks. The moment I opened my eyes, my thoughts would race to the things I didn't have, the problems I hadn't yet solved, and the uncertainty of the future. I didn't realize that by doing this, I was setting the tone for a day filled with stress, lack, and frustration. But when I began practicing gratitude first thing in the morning, my energy changed, my perspective changed, and most importantly, my life changed. Now, as soon as I wake up, I acknowledge the simple, beautiful blessings that I used to take for granted. I give thanks for the breath moving through my body, for the steady beating of my heart, for the ability to see, hear, and feel. These are miracles that so many overlook, yet they are the very foundation of life itself. I whisper, thank you for this body that carries me. Thank you for the bed that kept me warm. Thank you for another chance to create, to love, to grow. When I start my day with gratitude, I notice how effortlessly everything seems to flow. My mind is clearer, my heart is lighter, and I feel a deep sense of peace within me. Instead of rushing into stress, I ease into my morning with an awareness that I am already blessed. I remind myself that life is not happening to me, it is responding to me. And when I choose gratitude, life reflects that gratitude right back to me. I make it a practice to focus on what is already good rather than what I feel is missing. The mind naturally wants to search for problems, for things that need fixing, for situations that are not yet ideal. But I have discovered that when I shift my focus to what is working, what is abundant, and what is already beautiful, my entire reality begins to transform. Instead of dwelling on what I lack, I remind myself of how much I already have. I think of the people who love me, the lessons I have learned, the roof over my head, the opportunities before me, and in doing so, I feel an inner richness that no amount of external success could ever replace. This practice has taught me that gratitude is not just about what I receive, it is about how I choose to see life. Even on difficult days, even when things are not going exactly as I planned, I still find something to appreciate. I have learned that gratitude is not a temporary emotion, but a way of living. It is a lens through which I view the world, and the more I use it, the more beauty I see. There are moments when my mind tries to pull me back into old habits, moments when stress, fear, or doubt try to creep in. But I have trained myself to pause and shift my focus. Instead of letting negative thoughts control my mood, I ask myself, what can I be grateful for right now? And without fail, I always find something. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on my skin, the laughter of a loved one, or simply the fact that I have another day to try again. Gratitude is always available to me, and the more I embrace it, the more joy I feel. I also take a moment each morning to set my intentions for the day. I ask myself, how do I want to feel today? What kind of energy do I want to bring into my experiences? And I use gratitude to align myself with that energy. If I want a day filled with peace, I give thanks for the peace that already exists within me. If I want a day of success, I express gratitude for the progress I have already made. By focusing on what I appreciate, I attract more of it into my life. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It is a magnet for abundance. When I acknowledge and celebrate what I have, the universe responds by giving me more to be grateful for. It is a cycle of receiving and appreciating, of appreciating and receiving. And the more I practice it, the more I realize that I lack nothing. Everything I need is already here, already within me, already flowing toward me in perfect divine timing. So I continue this practice every single morning. I rise with a heart full of thanks, knowing that today is a gift. I choose to see the good, to focus on the blessings, and to trust that life is always working in my favor. And as I walk through my day, I carry this energy with me, allowing gratitude to guide my thoughts, my actions, and my experiences. Because when I start each day with gratitude, I set the foundation for a life filled with abundance, love, and limitless possibility. I have learned that the words I speak shape my reality. Every word carries energy, and that energy either brings me closer to the life I desire or pushes me further away from it. This is why I make it a daily practice to speak my gratitude into existence. I don't just feel grateful in my heart, I declare it with my voice. I affirm my blessings out loud, and in doing so, I send a powerful signal to the universe that I am ready to receive even more. For a long time, I didn't realize the power my words held. I used to speak about my struggles, my worries, and my fears, not knowing that by doing so, I was reinforcing them. Every time I said, "I'm so stressed, I never have enough, nothing ever works out for me," I was unknowingly creating more of the very circumstances I wanted to escape. My words were a reflection of my inner state, and that inner state was shaping my external world. But once I understood the power of spoken gratitude, everything changed. I began to replace words of lack with words of abundance. Instead of saying, "I don't have enough money," I started saying, "I am so grateful that money flows to me easily and effortlessly." Instead of saying, "I feel lonely," I began affirming, "I am surrounded by love in many beautiful forms." Instead of complaining about things I wished were different, I began expressing gratitude for all that was already good. And as I did, I watched my life transform. Now, I make it a point to speak my gratitude into existence every single day. I wake up and say, "Thank you for this new day. Thank you for my health. Thank you for the opportunities that are coming my way." Even before I see the results, I affirm them as if they are already mine. I say, "I am so grateful for the financial abundance flowing into my life. I am so thankful for the beautiful relationships I am attracting. I appreciate the success that is unfolding before me." When I speak in this way, I am not just hoping for a better reality. I am actively creating it. Some might wonder how words alone can create change, but I know from experience that they do. When I speak my gratitude out loud, I shift my energy. My mind begins to believe what I am saying, and my emotions align with that belief. I start to feel abundant, feel loved, feel successful. And because I feel it, I begin to act in ways that reflect that energy. I move through my day with confidence. I make decisions from a place of trust rather than fear, and I attract opportunities that match my vibration. Speaking gratitude into existence is not just about acknowledging what I have. It is about calling in what I desire. If I want something to manifest in my life, I don't wait until it arrives to be thankful for it. I give thanks for it now, as if it is already here. I say, "Thank you for my thriving business. Thank you for the amazing people in my life. Thank you for the success, joy, and fulfillment that fill my days." I do this because I understand that gratitude is a bridge between where I am and where I want to be. By expressing appreciation for my desires before they physically appear, I align myself with the frequency of having them, and they come to me effortlessly. This practice has helped me in ways I never imagined. There have been moments when I faced challenges, when things seemed uncertain, when I could have easily fallen into doubt. But instead of letting fear take over, I spoke gratitude. I said, I am so grateful that everything is working out for my highest good. I trust that the universe is guiding me. I appreciate the hidden blessings in this situation, and without fail, things would shift, solutions would appear, unexpected doors would open, and I would find myself exactly where I needed to be. I also use spoken gratitude to uplift my relationships. Instead of focusing on what someone may not be doing, I express appreciation for what they bring into my life. I say, I am so grateful for the love and kindness in my relationships. I appreciate the support and joy my friends and family give me. By speaking gratitude for the people in my life, I strengthen those connections and invite even more love and harmony into them. Every day, I take a moment to sit in stillness, pen in hand, and write down what I am thankful for. This practice has become a sacred ritual, a way to shift my focus from what is missing to what is already abundant in my life. The simple act of putting gratitude into words on paper transforms my energy, lifts my spirit, and aligns me with the flow of abundance that is always available to me. When I first started this practice, I didn't realize how powerful it would be. I had spent so much of my life chasing after what was next, always striving, always reaching, yet never feeling like I had enough. But something changed the day I decided to slow down and acknowledge what I already had. I opened a blank notebook and began to write, I am thankful for this day. I am thankful for my breath. I am thankful for the love that surrounds me. At first it felt small, almost too simple to make a difference, but as I continued, I felt something shift inside me. My heart softened, my mind calmed, and I realized just how much I had been taking for granted. I began to see the beauty in the ordinary. The sunlight streaming through my window, the warmth of a cup of tea, the sound of laughter from a loved one. I saw that my life was already full of blessings, and the more I acknowledged them, the more they seemed to multiply. Writing down my gratitude every day is more than just a habit. It is a way of training my mind to see abundance rather than lack. Each word I write is a declaration to the universe, an affirmation that I recognize and appreciate all that is good in my life. And as I do, I create space for even more goodness to flow in. Some days my gratitude list is long and effortless. I can easily fill pages with things I am thankful for: health, friendships, opportunities, inner growth, and the simple joys that make life beautiful. Other days, when life feels challenging, I have to search a little harder. But even then, I always find something. I remind myself that no matter what is happening, there is always something to be grateful for. Even in difficult moments, I can write, I am grateful for the lessons I am learning. I am grateful for my strength. I am grateful that I am growing through this experience. One of the most beautiful things I have discovered is that gratitude is not just about acknowledging what I already have. It is also about calling in what I desire. When I write down my gratitude, I don't limit it to what is physically present in my life. I express gratitude for the things that are on their way, as if they are already mine. I write, I am thankful for the financial abundance flowing into my life. I am thankful for the wonderful new opportunities coming my way. I am thankful for the love that is finding me. In doing so, I align myself with these blessings and invite them into my reality. This practice has transformed the way I experience life. I no longer wake up thinking about what I lack or what I need to fix. Instead, I wake up with a heart full of appreciation. I start my mornings by opening my journal and writing down 3 things I am grateful for. It sets the tone for my entire day, shifting my focus to positivity, joy, and abundance. At night, I reflect on the day and write down the moments that brought me joy. I think about the kindness I received, the progress I made, the little miracles that happened along the way. Even on days that feel difficult, I find something to appreciate. The way a stranger smiled at me, the comfort of my home, the strength I showed in facing a challenge. This practice reminds me that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is always light. Gratitude has become a powerful tool for manifesting my dreams. The more I write down what I am thankful for, the more I attract blessings into my life. It is as if the universe responds to my appreciation by giving me even more to be grateful for. I have seen doors open, opportunities appear, and unexpected gifts arrive, simply because I chose to focus on the good. But beyond manifestation, this practice has given me something even more valuable, a deep sense of inner peace. I no longer feel the constant need to chase or control. I trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. I know that I am supported, loved, and taken care of. And I know that as long as I continue to express gratitude, I will always be in alignment with the abundant flow of the universe. So every day I continue to write. I fill the pages of my journal with words of appreciation, knowing that each word is a seed planted in the garden of my life. I trust that what I focus on expands, and because I choose to focus on gratitude, my life continues to bloom with endless blessings. Every day I give thanks for the things I desire before they even arrive. I do this because I understand a simple truth. Gratitude is a magnet for blessings. When I express appreciation for something as if it is already mine, I align myself with the energy of receiving. I step into a state of trust, faith, and certainty that what I seek is already making its way to me. At first, this idea felt unfamiliar to me. I used to believe that gratitude was something I expressed only after I had received something. I thought I had to wait until my desires manifested before I could feel thankful. But then I realized that gratitude is not just a reaction, it is a powerful force that shapes my reality. It is not about waiting until something happens. It is about calling it in with confidence, with love, and with an open heart. So I begin to practice. Every morning before I even get out of bed, I close my eyes and say thank you, not just for what I already have, but for what is on its way. I give thanks for the opportunities that are unfolding, the love that is finding me, the abundance that is flowing into my life. I do not wait until I can see these things with my physical eyes. I feel them first in my heart. I know that by expressing gratitude in advance, I am setting the stage for miracles. When I write in my journal, I do the same. I do not simply list what I am thankful for in the present moment. I also write down what I desire as if it is already mine. I am so grateful for my financial freedom. I am so grateful for the beautiful home I live in. I am so grateful for the joy and love that surround me. With each word, I shift my mindset from lack to abundance. I remind myself that I am worthy of everything I seek. This practice is not about pretending, it is about believing, it is about stepping into the energy of my desires with certainty, knowing that the universe responds to my faith. When I give thanks in advance, I release doubt, fear, and hesitation. I no longer question if something will happen. I trust that it already has in ways I may not yet see. I have witnessed the power of this practice in my own life. Time and time again, I have watched my desires manifest in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. When I wanted new opportunities in my career, I did not sit in frustration wondering when they would come. Instead, I gave thanks. I said, I am so grateful for the incredible opportunities that are coming to me, and soon enough, Doors began to open. The right people showed up. The perfect circumstances aligned. When I longed for love, I did not dwell in loneliness. I gave thanks. I said, I am so grateful for the deep, meaningful love that is entering my life. And before I knew it, love found me in ways I could never have planned. Even in moments of uncertainty, when things seemed to be going in the opposite direction, I chose gratitude. I reminded myself that just because I could not see progress did not mean it was not happening. I trusted the process. I continued to say thank you. I continued to believe that everything was working out in my favor, even when I could not yet see the full picture. Gratitude in advance is an act of faith. It is a way of stepping into alignment with the life I desire. It is a declaration that I trust the universe, that I know my dreams are valid, and that I am open to receiving. It keeps my heart open, my mind clear, and my spirit aligned with the energy of abundance. There are moments in life when I feel stuck, when frustration, doubt, or fear cloud my mind. In these moments, I have learned to turn to the simplest yet most powerful tool I have, gratitude. I use gratitude to shift my energy, to realign myself with peace, joy, and abundance. It is not just a practice for me, it is a way of life. Every day I remind myself that I have a choice. I can focus on what is wrong, or I can focus on what is right. I can dwell in lack, or I can embrace abundance. I can let negative emotions consume me, or I can consciously shift my energy through gratitude. The choice is always mine, and when I choose gratitude, I choose transformation. I have discovered that gratitude is not just about saying thank you for the good things in my life. It is about shifting my entire perspective. It is about training my mind to find the beauty in every situation, even the difficult ones. It is about recognizing that even in the darkest moments, there is something to appreciate. When I choose gratitude, I step out of victimhood and into empowerment. There have been times when I felt overwhelmed, as if nothing was going my way. In those moments, my first instinct was to complain, to focus on what was missing, to wonder why life was not unfolding the way I wanted. But I realized that the more I focused on problems, the more stuck I felt. Complaining did not change anything, it only drained my energy. So I began to shift my approach. Instead of focusing on what was wrong, I started focusing on what was right. I paused, took a deep breath, and asked myself, what can I be grateful for right now? Even when things seemed difficult, I could always find something. I could be grateful for my breath, for my strength, for the lessons I was learning. I could be grateful for the opportunity to grow, for the people who loved me, for the simple joys that surrounded me. And as I did this, something incredible happened. My energy changed, the heaviness lifted, my heart softened, my perspective shifted. I went from feeling powerless to feeling hopeful. I realized that gratitude had the power to change my entire experience, not by changing my circumstances, but by changing the way I saw them. Now, whenever I feel anxious or uncertain, I use gratitude as my anchor. Instead of letting fear take over, I pause and make a list of everything I am thankful for. I write it down, say it out loud, or simply hold it in my heart. I remind myself that even when things are uncertain, I am still blessed. Even when things are not perfect, there is still beauty to be found. Gratitude has taught me that my energy attracts my reality. When I focus on lack, I invite more lack into my life. When I focus on abundance, I open myself up to receiving more. When I choose to see the good, more good comes my way. It is not magic, it is a shift in consciousness. The more I align myself with gratitude, the more I align myself with the flow of the universe. One of the most powerful lessons I have learned is that gratitude is not just for the easy days. It is for the challenging ones too. When things go well, gratitude is effortless. But when life feels uncertain, gratitude becomes my greatest tool. It is in those moments that I remind myself, even this is working for my highest good. I trust that there is a lesson, a blessing, a hidden gift in every situation. Over time, this practice has transformed me. I no longer wait for something good to happen before I feel grateful. I choose gratitude first, knowing that my energy creates my reality. I wake up each morning and say, thank you. I go to bed each night and reflect on the blessings of the day. I fill my thoughts, my words, and my heart with appreciation, because I know that what I focus on expands. Gratitude has become my foundation. It has taught me resilience, patience, and trust. It has shown me that happiness is not something I find, it is something I create. It has proven to me that I do not need to wait for circumstances to change in order to feel joy. I can shift my energy now. I can be grateful now. And so I continue, no matter what life brings. I choose gratitude. I choose to focus on the good. I choose to trust in the abundance that surrounds me. I choose to shift my energy with appreciation, knowing that gratitude is the key to unlocking a life filled with peace, love, and limitless possibility. Every day I make it a priority to express gratitude to others. I do this not just as a habit, but as a way of life. Because I know that gratitude has the power to uplift, to heal, and to strengthen the connections I share with those around me. Gratitude is a force of love, and when I express it sincerely, I bring more kindness, joy, and harmony into my world. I have learned that gratitude should not remain unspoken. It is not enough to simply feel appreciation in my heart. I must express it openly, clearly, and often. When I take the time to acknowledge someone's kindness, their presence, or their efforts, I let them know that they matter. I remind them that they are seen, valued, and loved, and in doing so, I create a ripple effect of warmth and positivity that extends far beyond that single moment. I make it a point to thank the people in my life, not just for grand gestures, but for the small things that often go unnoticed. I thank my loved ones for their support, for their patience, for simply being there. I tell them how much I appreciate their laughter, their wisdom, their kindness. I do not assume they already know. I make sure they hear it from me. I know that words of gratitude have the power to brighten someone's day, to bring comfort in times of doubt, and to strengthen the bonds of love and friendship. But I do not reserve my gratitude only for those closest to me. I extend it to strangers, to the people I encounter in my daily life. I thank the barista who makes my coffee, the cashier who rings up my groceries, the driver who lets me merge into traffic. I look them in the eyes, smile, and acknowledge their efforts. I know that a simple thank you can turn an ordinary interaction into a moment of connection. I also take the time to express gratitude in deeper, more thoughtful ways. Sometimes I write letters of appreciation to the people who have influenced my life. I let them know how much they mean to me, how they have inspired me, how their presence has made a difference. I have seen the way such letters bring unexpected joy, how they remind people of their own worth and purpose. Gratitude is not just about words, it is also about action. I express my appreciation by showing up for others, by listening with an open heart, by offering kindness in return. I know that a heartfelt thank you is powerful, but a thank you followed by genuine care and consideration is even more meaningful. I strive to be present for those who have been there for me. I offer help, encouragement, and love, not just in moments of ease, but in moments of need. I have noticed that the more I express gratitude, the more my relationships flourish. Gratitude dissolves resentment, softens misunderstandings, and brings people closer together. It reminds me to focus on what is good in others rather than dwelling on flaws or disappointments. It shifts my perspective from expectation to appreciation, from taking things for granted to cherishing them fully. One of the most beautiful things about expressing gratitude is that it creates a cycle of positivity. When I sincerely thank someone, they often feel inspired to pass that gratitude on to others. One small act of appreciation can set off a chain reaction, spreading joy far beyond what I can see. I love knowing that my words and actions have the potential to make someone's day a little brighter, to remind them that they are valued and loved.